Everyone feels weak at some point. It doesn't matter how tough you are, how much you've achieved, or how big your goals are. There will be days when you feel broken, empty, worthless. But that moment, that low point, it's not the end. It's the beginning. Because weakness isn't your enemy. It's your starting point. It's raw material. And what you do with it is what separates the ordinary from the unstoppable. You see, the world taught you to hide your pain, to pretend, to keep it together while you fall apart on the inside. But pain is not something you run from. It's something you learn to use. Every rejection, every failure, every moment you were overlooked, doubted, laughed at, those weren't defeats. They were tools, fuel, lessons. But only if you stop running and start building. The strongest men you know, they were weak once. Not in the body, in the mind. They felt small, insignificant, but they didn't stay there. They didn't drown in their excuses. They turned pain into precision, rejection into strategy, failure into fire. And if you're feeling weak right now, good. Because that's the most honest version of you. No filters, no noise, just you, face to face with who you are and who you could become. Pain is a forge, and every hit you take is a chance to reshape yourself. The pressure you feel right now, that's the weight of potential. Most people break under it. But you? If you're here, it means something inside you refuses to die. Something still wants to fight, and that's the part you build from. So don't run from the weakness. Don't numb it. Don't explain it away. Use it. This is where the transformation begins. Not when you feel strong, but when you're too broken to fake it and too hungry to quit. And if you felt this in your chest, if you're done pretending to be fine, subscribe now. Because this isn't motivation. This is survival. And we don't speak to your comfort. We speak to your fire. Rejection breaks most people because they take it personally. They hear no and start doubting who they are. They think failure is a reflection of their worth. But high-level men, they don't process rejection like that. When they hear no, they don't flinch. They don't fold. They reload. Because they know every no is just a redirection, a test of grit, not of value. Most people think they're being rejected. The truth is, they're being refined. That missed opportunity, that closed door, that failure that stung so bad it kept you up at night, it's part of the forge. It's sharpening you, stripping away the weakness, making you harder to kill. But only if you keep moving. Only if you don't let that no define you. The world isn't built to hand you what you want. It's built to test how bad you want it. Every time you get denied, you're being asked one thing. Will you try again? Or will you lower your standards and settle? The average man shrinks. The dangerous man steps forward, stronger, quieter, hungrier. Because once you stop reacting emotionally to rejection and start using it strategically, you become untouchable. You don't fear the no. You expect it. You welcome it. You let it harden your focus, not your heart. You use it to build a mind that doesn't need permission. A mind that refuses to ask for approval. The most powerful men in the world were told no more than you can imagine. And every time, they turned it into a step, not a setback. They didn't internalize the rejection. They converted it into fuel. So if you've been hearing no lately, good. Let it remind you who you're becoming. Let it sharpen your edge. Let it ignite a version of you that doesn't stop when denied, but accelerates. Discipline without direction is fragile. You can grind for a few days. You can push through a rough week. But if your reason isn't powerful, you will eventually break. When things go wrong, and they will, your motivation won't save you. The gym won't save you. That podcast you liked last week won't save you. Only one thing will, a why so strong it burns hotter than your pain. You don't keep going because it's easy. You keep going because something in you refuses to lose. Because something deep inside has already decided, I'm not going back. I'm not quitting. I'm not repeating the same cycle. I've got too much on the line. That kind of fire can't be faked. It's built from struggle, from failure, from knowing what it feels like to almost give up and choosing not to. Most people want change, but their why is built on soft ground. They want money, but not purpose. They want freedom, but not responsibility. They want strength, but not suffering. And when things get hard, they collapse. They blame the world. They say, it wasn't meant to be. But the truth is, they never had a reason powerful enough to withstand the storm. You want to become dangerous? Then dig deep and find out what you're really doing this for. Not the surface answer. The truth. The thing that makes your blood boil. The thing that makes you move when no one's watching. The thing that makes quitting feel like death. That's the fire that will keep you going when everything else burns out. So ask yourself right now, what's your why? And don't lie. If it's weak, strengthen it. If it's unclear, define it. Because your power will always match the depth of your reason. Everyone talks about strength. Lifting more, hustling harder, grinding longer. But physical effort without mental structure is like building a skyscraper on sand. It might stand for a while, but eventually it collapses. That's what happens to most men. They train their bodies but neglect their minds. And when pressure hits, when failure comes, when rejection stings, when life gets ugly, they fold. Not because they're weak physically, but because they never fortified their mind. Mental strength isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's not about being loud. It's not about acting like nothing hurts. It's about building quiet resilience. It's about creating an internal fortress no setback can penetrate. When everything falls apart, the man with a trained mind doesn't panic. He plans. He doesn't whine. He adapts. He doesn't seek comfort. He seeks control. But here's the part no one wants to hear. Building that mind hurts. It means facing your fears, not avoiding them. It means telling yourself the truth when lies would be easier. It means discipline when chaos feels more natural. It means isolation, stillness, boredom. It's not pretty, but it's powerful. Because once you build that kind of mind, nothing can take it from you. You could lose the money, lose the deal, lose the support, and still rise. Because the man who owns his mind never starts from zero. He starts from experience, from self-leadership, from inner dominance. That's what makes him dangerous. So train your mind, not just your habits, not just your routine. Go deeper. Make your thoughts work for you, not against you. Sharpen your focus. Eliminate mental clutter. Build a mind that obeys you, even when everything around you says, give up. Because in the end, it won't be your motivation that saves you. It'll be your mindset, the one you built in the dark, when no one believed in you but you. Weakness becomes permanent the moment you stop believing there's something on the other side of it. That's what breaks most people. Not the pain itself, but the belief that it's all for nothing. That's where the average mind dies. That's where mediocrity wins. Because when things go wrong, they stop seeing the finish line. They stop believing in the version of themselves they swore they were chasing. And without vision, there's no fuel. But high-level men, they see it when no one else does. They see it when the bank account is empty, when the support disappears, when the plan collapses. They close their eyes and hold the image like a weapon. They visualize not just the success, but the pain that got them there. The sacrifices, the cold mornings, the silence, the doubt, the fire they walked through to earn it. Visualization isn't fantasy, it's discipline. It's the mental blueprint of the man you're becoming. It keeps your feet moving when everything around you screams, stop. It reminds you what this pain is buying, what the sleepless nights are building. And without it, the grind becomes meaningless. Without it, you'll stop the moment things don't look like progress. But if you can see it, truly see it, even in the dark, you'll never quit. Your vision has to be louder than your emotions, clearer than your circumstances, stronger than the opinions of the people who don't believe in you. Because success won't show up with a map. It's built through faith, one rep, one task, one decision at a time. So close your eyes and see it again. Not the easy version, the real one. The version where you fought for it, bled for it, doubted yourself and still kept going. That's what makes it worth it. That's what makes you unshakable. Don't just work. Don't just survive. Visualize, align, attack. Even if the world can't see it yet, you must. Pain is a signal. Weakness is a warning. And what you do with both is what defines you. Not the feeling, but the response. Most people collapse when it gets heavy, when it's lonely. When they feel exposed, unworthy, forgotten, they run to comfort, they hide behind excuses, they tell themselves they're not ready, that they'll try again later. But the truth? They were never committed. Because the ones who are, they use the pain. They turn weakness into instruction. They don't wait for strength. They build it inside the struggle. You don't get stronger in safety. You don't evolve in peace. Transformation comes when there's nothing left to protect, but everything left to fight for. When you're tired of feeling sorry for yourself. When you look at the version of you that settles and say, "I'm done with that man." That's when things change. Not when it's easy, when it hurts, when it bleeds, when it burns and you still move forward. Most men waste their darkest moments. They numb them, bury them, pretend they never happened. But the dangerous ones? They collect those moments. They store the failures, the betrayals, the humiliations, and then they use them, not as weight, but as fire. They don't forget the pain. They forge with it. If you're in pain right now, good. That means the story isn't over. That means you're still breathing, still capable, still responsible for what happens next. The pain you're feeling? It's asking one question. Are you going to stay here, or are you going to rise? Are you going to let weakness define you, or are you going to use it as proof you're not done yet? This is your moment. Not when you win. Now. When it's hard. When it's dark. When nothing makes sense, but everything in your gut says don't quit. That voice inside you, the one that won't stay silent. It's not noise. It's identity. It's the future calling you out of mediocrity and into war. So stop waiting for perfect. Stop waiting to feel strong. Get up broken. Train tired. Move while doubting. And if you keep moving long enough, you won't just survive, you'll become something the old version of you wouldn't even recognize. And if you're ready to use your pain, comment right now. I don't run from pain, I build with it. And if you're done explaining, done hesitating, done pretending you're fine, subscribe now. Because weakness isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of your power.